Before I tell you what I'm teaching on this morning, I want to do a justification of the study. You see, when I was growing up, when I was just a child, and those of you who know this about me, I have a vivid memory of my childhood. When I was growing up, two of my favorite animals were the panda and the polar bear. And of all reasons, I just, excuse the naivety of a child, I thought they looked cute. And I thought that if I ever saw a polar bear, I would hug the polar bear. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. And I acted like a child, like Paul said. But when I grew up, I put away childish things. Because when I began to learn about how dangerous a polar bear is, I realized how foolish I was and how naive I was. Polar bears are amongst 5 most deadly predators in the world. 5 of the most deadly predators in the world. And I'll just tell you a bit about polar bears. So first and foremost, even amongst all the bears, and they're all dangerous, the polar bear is the most dangerous because it is said, if you ever encounter a brown bear, just lie, play dead. It will see you as less a threat. If you see a brown bear, lie down. If you see a black bear, fight back. Because, if you just, it's more likely to be intimidated and, or to be deterred by threats. But if you see a polar bear, good night. That's how the saying goes. If you see a polar bear, good night, because there is no known scientific way to avoid a polar bear that is after your life. No known way. No known way. First and foremost, some reports disagree, but one report I read says a polar bear can pick your scent from 1.6 kilometers away. 1.6, and I know some of you are struggling with mathematics, so don't worry, I'm going to help you. Have you ever stood on a football pitch before? You know how long it is? You know the length of it? 1.6 kilometers is about 16 football pitches. So picture that if you were standing at one end and you put 16 football pitches and you were standing at the extreme of the last one, a polar bear can still pick your scent. Now, some other reports say even more than that, 20 times more than that. One of the fish that they like to hunt, they can pick their scent from 20 kilometers. Some say that, but I'm leaning to the smaller extreme. It has a bite force of 1,200 psi, and that means it can, with its teeth, crush your skull. And I can go on and on. But here I was as a child, just looking at the picture, just by the picture. Oh, it's so cute, fluffy. And what I'm saying is, some of you don't realize that's how you make your marriage choices. By appearance alone. Because polar bears are tall and light-skinned. If you choose who you're going to get married to just by optics, just because it's picture perfect, you're making the same error. Something can look very nice and be very dangerous. That's all I'm trying to say. Someone can look very nice and be very dangerous.